Welcome to my studio. My name is Derek. I'm a professional stained glass artist. Today is a tutorial all about creating portraits on glass. This is a free tutorial for you, the creative community. And by the way, if you like the content on this channel, subscribe and like the videos. So without any further ado, let's get into how to create a portrait in glass, starting right now. We're going to be working first of all with some dipping pens. So these are sort of the dipping pens that I use. They're standard dipping pens. I'll leave links somewhere in this video, probably in the links below here, to another tutorial video that I've made about how to use these dipping pens and specifically how to mix the paints. Paints are like this. They're in a little bottle, which is a sealed bottle. There's a seal on top which keeps the liquid fresh. And once you've actually made this paint mixture, it will last for months. The reason it lasts for months is because it's oil-based. The oils that we're using are lavender oil and clove oil. Now, the combination that you need to mix with your paints is 2 parts clove oil to 1 part lavender oil. The reason we add lavender oil to the mixture is because the lavender oil acts as a thinning agent. It actually thins down the clove oil and allows it to flow from the nib more successfully. Once this is mixed, it has to be left for at least 24 hours to infuse, for all of the pigment to infuse into the oil body, and then it's good to go. Really what we're looking for is the consistency of ink. So you would draw on glass in exactly the same way that you would draw with paper, and you would just be as casual and as free in drawing on glass as you would be with drawing in paper. It's a lovely way to actually work. It's very precise, it's very controlled, and it's really easy to sort of create effects that you want. Once you're happy with what you've painted, it goes into the kiln and gets fired in the normal way. So then we're ready to develop some shading. So we've fired that first layer, we've got our gestural marks, but I'm going to experiment with a variety of different techniques just now to create textural layers, additional shading and modeling, just a couple of little ways of adding interesting effects to spice up some painting techniques. This is not something you would use normally with conservation work, but certainly with new work, this is a good method. So applying a thin wash to the surface of the glass, then using a badger brush, we badger the pigment until it's nice and even, and then you can apply a little bit of water to it. Water is a great medium for creating certain effects such as this. If you allow the water to dry, you're using a hairdryer or naturally, you can then badger it again to create some really interesting marbling effects, as you can see here. It's a case of playing around and just having fun using your materials in interesting ways. So this is a lovely effect to create interesting sort of textures using the medium of glass paint. You can create effects like this. It's a nice effect. This is using an astringent, which is a little bit of alcohol in the mixture, which creates a slightly more dramatic effect. But again, just spraying it as you would in the previous clip. You can also use combs. So if you create a pigment wash on the surface of the glass, you can create interesting effects. I play around with this quite a lot in my glass projects for churches, etc., because you can sort of almost create a woodcut feel to it, which I really like on larger scale projects. It's a really nice method, and it again can augment what you're creating, so you can use it as part of your other techniques like this to sort of add another layer of density and flavor to the piece. And once you've applied your pigments, you can scratch and you can remove areas of pigment until you're happy with what you're creating. So we're still a work in progress here, because the actual painting is quite dense, it's quite dark as a self-portrait. So I wanted to add color to it without having lead lines, etc. And I feel that this is the way forward. So I'm going to create almost like a little double glazed unit with a semi-opalescent glass behind. As you can see here, I'm attaching it all together, dry glazed, in place with opalescent glass behind, and all these little pieces of coloured glass together, held in place with lead round the outside, which will hopefully hold everything in place. Obviously this is not suitable for outside use, but I think it works really well. I think it's a nice little panel that sort of diffuses itself and creates an interesting effect. So this is the final result using the different techniques that I've shown you earlier. And check out this video next as you continue your stained glass journey. Thanks again for watching. Bye for now.